Too silly. I'm on time, just as usual. Nothing's changed. It's been 3 weeks since I did a live, and I'm on time just as usual. I don't even have my whole display done. Um, Probably got echo going on. How about that? I gotta fix my. I don't even know what I use. It's been so long since I did a live. I almost had to cancel a night, but I couldn't cancel on y'all. I'm supposed to be helping my wife put something together for my daughter. Um, Life is absolutely stupidly crazy right now. Um, Hope everybody's been doing well. I don't even know if my codes still work. It's been crazy. Crypto is just stagnant. How about that? Wingbits are still doing good. I'm still making my claims. Um, Bitcoin is just slowly, steadily chopping down. Seems like I drew this line a while back, and it's staying above this line. So what's up, Kronzer? What's happening? Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. It's been like I feel like it's been forever since I've did this. Weekend before, I mean, last week I was in San Antonio for a crypto conference. I mean, not crypto, a work conference. Um, let's see. The week before that, I can't even tell you what I was doing. There was something going on. I couldn't do it. And like I said, I almost didn't do it. You see how late I'm running today? I'm literally just got home. I had to find a shirt. This is the only shirt I had hanging up inside the office right here. I don't even know where my Grumpy Dad shirts are. Trying to get some Grumpy Mesh shirts made. I got my boy on top of that. Well, my phone's dead. I'm buried deep in mesh. I actually started the LLC after all this time, Grumpy Dad Studios LLC. Then I got a DBA of Grumpy Mesh, and that has taken off way more than I thought. I've had 2 pre-sales of Grumpy Mesh devices. The first pre-sale, I sold 20 devices in 12 hours. The second pre-sale, I sold 30 devices in 7 hours. So I think that means there's a demand, and I'm probably charging too little. But my idea was I didn't mind making $5 a profit off of each board the first time because it gets the name out there. People in the Discord start using it and everything. And then I made a little bit more profit on the second one. And then they'll go to normal pricing after and stuff like that. What else is going on, guys? Like I told I even told 619 that he was going to handle the live tonight. He has all the scoop and data and stuff like that. Um, so the guy that was supposedly working on the side from this is what he's all happy about. The guy who worked, and I know there's some people who had very hard feelings against the guy, but the guy who was on the side kind of helping out Wingbits with from Nebra, he is no longer with um, Wingbits. And apparently that was supposed to be discussed in the GeoNet AMA. A lot of hard feelings against the guy from Nebra because there are a lot of people, not just 619, that are waiting for their helium devices in. And funny joke is, a little side bet between me and 619, he owes me a bottle of Bywater bourbon. If I send out Grumpy Mesh boards before he gets his Nebra boards, he owes me a bottle of bourbon. And I think he better get ready to pay up because Grumpy Mesh boards have arrived in the United States. all the separate little pieces and parts. And they have arrived yesterday. They're currently in the lab being all put together, soldered together, everything like that. And beginning of next week, middle of next week, we're going to do some testing on each one because I can't have any of these bad. I have to make sure everything's working before they get sent out. And they're going to get sent out. So therefore, Grumpy Mesh has officially passed up Nebra as far as getting devices out. I'm coming out with my own Grumpy repeater. Had it somewhere. Tanya, we've been going crazy with stuff. I want to be able to roll over it with a car. It's got to be hurricane proof and not to drink hurricane. Tell you, the lab's going crazy. We're crazy in the lab. If I can figure out a way to dual purpose a box, I want to dual purpose a box that I can put some kind of little passive income thing in there. So, I mean, for those of y'all who are coming in later, don't know, Mesh Core is what I've been dealing with also. You can use it on Meshtastic. I've gotten bit by this bug, and I got EOCs and public safety entities around the state, along with other people. GulfCoastMesh.org is a group in the Gulf Coast, and that has been taking up my time left and right now that crypto is basically stale, and there's nothing going on in DPIN to keep me busy. I got my DPIN project still going. I still have my Wingbits stations, even though about 5 of them are offline because either the internet went off or host gave them up after they saw what I even bumped my cuts to 50-50 and they don't want it no more. So I got 4 or 5 devices just sitting here. They're sending me back the geosigners, and the geosigners are sitting here. If there's somebody out there that wants to host a Wingbits device from me, and the hex is open and there's not that much around there, even though I said I didn't really want to do host anymore, I can't stand the fact that I got 5 stations offline. So that's a geosigner right there from one of my hosts. And y'all want to see what kind of host I'm dealing with. You think this is a trash bag? No. Let me cover his face and my address. Homeboy sent me my fucking geosigner back in my daughter's like, somebody sent you garbage bags. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Somebody sent you garbage bags. I'm like, who sends garbage bags? Like, was it in a cardboard box? No, they sent you trash bags. So this dude in the trash bag, I didn't even open it yet. He sent me my fucking geosigner back in. Oh, this is a pretty strong box, I gotta say. I guess he wrapped it up with enough tape. But yeah, man, this is my geosigner. Man, this is childproof. I gotta start shipping shit in garbage bags. Oh, this dude sent back even. This is an unboxing. This is an unboxing you never asked for. Here's my geosigner. What the shit is this? So this must be the. What the shit? I don't know. Anyway, anybody want this? I'm willing to split it 50-50. 50-50. So yeah, this is two geos. I mean, this is 2 Wingbits devices just right here that I have sent back from host. I can update this one, send it to somebody. If anybody wants to split stuff 50-50. Actually, I got in 2 antennas from Wingbits to test out. I was supposed to be doing video. I apologize to the Wingbits guys, gals. Life's busy. I'm literally non-stop right now. I have to order a 3D printer. Again, I started the LLC. I had to go get a business account for this side business I started. On top of, I still got my Amsoil side business. Conferences at work. Work's not getting any better, even though I'm eligible for retirement. Every day I think, mate, what the hell am I doing sticking around? But the money's what I'm sticking around for. I feel bad. I still haven't finished my video on Hallowave. I do have my Hallowave, the minor side is still connected, still running, still going. What else? What else? What else? What else? We got Hallowave's got some updates. If you're not following the Hallowave Discord, make sure you're in it. I'll be honest with y'all, I have not had time to follow it. You know, I'm into the passive income. I want stuff just to run. I can't keep up with all the stuff going on, even though I used to always tell people, you know, if you're in these new projects, you have to. But make sure you hit the like button if I've had too many monster drinks and my heart's about to explode. Wingbits, we're gonna go over Wingbits in a second. We're gonna go over GeoNet in a second. Mass Chain. Mass Chain said that they were sending devices out. I have a device that's supposed to be coming. I had to go through the store, had to put a coupon in. I have not heard anything about my Mass Chain yet. I was hoping to have it. I'm going tomorrow. I'll be doing a video tomorrow. I have to get out the office. I have to take a break from work because I went to a conference that was 6 days in a row last week from Sunday to Friday. Came back. I had to work Saturday, Sunday last week to catch up on tower stuff. Worked all week this week. We had all kinds of stuff failing. It's been hell. And I told them I'm taking off tomorrow. I have $400 of vacation and it's bullshit. So I'm going fishing tomorrow. I'm going crabbing in Grand Isle. If y'all saw that video last year. And the cool part of it, even though we have a heat dome over us right now, it's 100 something degrees, I'll be in the water, even though it's Grand Isle. So look out for that video tomorrow. I'm really doing it just to get the fuck out of here. But my hope was that by the time I went back to Grand Isle, I'll have my mast node because I'm setting this up in Grand Isle. I've already talked to a host that's going to allow me to host it. They're on the water. They're on an island. So they got boats and ships on each side with all the oil stuff they got going on down there. So my mast node will be set up down there. This is supposed to be coming to me. I don't know what the ETA is. I don't want to check it right now in the middle of a video. But so despite everybody making goofy comments about me being in mesh and stuff like that, Jay Styles, I have to give him a shout out. Jay Styles has been holding down the Grumpy Discord. Make sure you're still in there. The last live, I think it was the last live I did, he went over a bunch of projects. I'm hearing that those projects are doing good. You know, receipt scanning and all that stuff like that. I wanted to just come on here and give y'all a shout because I have not seen or heard from a lot of y'all. And just tell you I'm still alive. I haven't, you know, people making comments like I've given up on this and only dealing with mesh. Guys, we can have multiple hobbies. That's the good thing about having passive income. Now, I don't have time to do the trades, but after you lose a little bit of money in them trades because the market's just going sideways, this is not the time to be doing shorts and longs. You know, we shorted grass when it was crashing down because that project sucks. And please, I hope nobody is still running. And look, I normally don't tell y'all to do or not to do certain projects. I always say, this is not financial advice. I'm telling y'all, if anybody's running grass, shame on y'all. That is one of the first projects I'm going to tell y'all, get the fuck out that project. They don't deserve your data. They don't deserve. And listen, don't have this mindset like I see certain people on X saying, I don't care if all 5 million of these people quit because I'm going to get higher rewards. No, you're not. That's been proven for, no, you're not. You're going to be bitching that you only got $2.50 after 18 months like everybody else. Take it off your computer. They don't deserve shit. And honestly, I don't think they care. They've made so many millions of dollars over the last 18 months. It's stupid. They bragged about how much money they made, how much money they fundraised, how much data they sold, and we got pennies. I've never even claimed my $35 yet. It's horrible. It's horrible what they did to us, how they treated us, and I hope none of y'all are in that project still. I hope y'all ain't, you know, holding that token or anything like that, because the token's done because they're only paying in USDC. So what else? What else? Gonna have the kids on the rigs meshing. I could not get that garbage bag box open. That's crazy. Like I had to use a screwdriver to rip open the top of it. At least you don't have to worry about nobody trying to steal your package off the porch. $10. And this dude wants $10. Me send him $10 USDC to cover this. Whatever, man. You can sit here and wait for it. What else is going on? I'm still keeping up with the Discord, still keeping up with who's joining and stuff like that, what's going on. So why did we put a flight grid thing on Wingbits? Is this new? This flight grid thing, and you want me to pay $100 for a refundable deposit? Yeah, that's not happening. That's basically how Wingbits started. What else we got going on Discord? What is GeoNet doing? I have alarms on GeoNet that, look at this. Every time it seems to go to a new market, 32 cents. Is that what it was up to in July? And then I think it hit a Korean market or two Korean markets. But I actually have an alarm on my GeoNet that when it hits a certain price, it goes off 24 cents, and it hit it. That's 1 hour. But so I mean, I knew it was over 24 cents twice, and I didn't sell. I've sold some GeoNet a while back when I made, and look, I've made it no secret that to fund my Grumpy Mesh project, Scarlett Oso is in here, who she's the one that I kind of told her what I wanted. She knows how to make the PCB board stuff. I don't. I gave her all that credit. She even put her name on the board, on the Grumpy board, and but I made it no secret that I've sold some crypto to help fund this new LLC, this new Grumpy Mesh project, and I've sold some wings. I've sold some GeoNet. I've sold some Solana. I've sold some stuff. I mean, I still have a good amount of crypto. I didn't go cash all my bags out, but still have Cardano like a fool. I still have Atom like a fool just because it's too low for me even to sell. I still got my vet, but I did sip some. What I do is on my Wingbits is I try to wait like 5 days to claim every 5 days. So every 5 days I'm claiming I'm getting like $100. So it's like it makes me feel a lot better when I sell $100 worth. I'm like, oh, I'll just claim that, even though it's like I said, I waited 5 or 6 days. Look, I don't know how y'all feel about Wingbits. I'm still a huge Wingbits fan. I don't hide that. I will say that I don't follow it as deep. Again, I don't know how many of y'all have started side businesses and stuff like that, but it's not easy. Like I might have to burn vacation time to help run this Grumpy Mesh thing. Especially when we start selling these repeaters and getting these repeaters out. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to find my some pictures I had of us testing out. Let's see. Let me, restore Discord. Discord don't want to work. I'd like to show you just a couple of pictures of what we're working on. I get you, like, I'm not a 3D printer person at all. I'm ordering a 3D printer probably today if all my money hits from Shopify. Because it's something I'm going to probably need. But let's see if I can somewhat hide some of this crap. But we're doing some testing. The Grumpy repeater board is going to Grumpy repeater. We're doing testing. That's my logo I came up with. Thank you to the Terminator. What I call Chat GPT. But that's basically what it's going to look like. And we're printing it out of ASA. I actually sent a survey out to 120 mesh people and said, what do you want in the most if you had to pick the perfect repeater, what do you want? And what's funny is even with 120 people, some answers were 50-50. Some people want a metal box. I got people right now asking still for metal box. So I'm trying to find like the old Nebra outdoor boxes from Helium, those type of boxes. And I'm gonna make a Helium, the repeater box out of that. I just don't know how I'm supposed to attach a solar panel, but this is what it's gonna look like. This guy Mike, did great things. Trying to, I kind of told him what I wanted, and he came up with the designs. I'm trying to find. He sent me some pictures of it outside being tested. That's what I was looking for. And this is what it's going to look like. And I'm pumped. I can't tell you, when I finally printed one of these out, I was super stoked, pumped. But it's I'm an older guy. It's hard to do all that. Let's see what else is going on. Let's go check wings. The token, or I don't know if they're doing token burns. I gotta tell you, I'm not upset with. I was upset with the Wingbits price back when it was like 0.002, but it's holding steady about 0.005. It's at 0.0049. I'm cool with that. I'm hoping to start some more buys at some point. If the crypto market sucks right now, alt season sucks right now. If we can stay at that 0.005, and then if or when we have some type of Solana rush again or an alt season rush again, and we can get us back to, a decent price. And if this can stay at 0.005, 0.006, and maybe get to a penny. It was at a penny. It was over a penny at one point. Wasn't it like 2 pennies, 3 cents or something? I don't know. When it first got released, like, let this get back to a penny. I don't think it will, because you have people who sell 100% of their tokens as soon as they get them. $1.47, $4.50. Oh, I'm sorry. Value $1.47, $1.84. Like, y'all gotta rush and sell them things, huh? That's sad. And y'all better not be bitching about the price when y'all sell at this little bitty price. Then you got some bigger sales. But again, a guy sold $162 worth, but that was 90% of his wallet. Excuse me. $18, and that was 99% of his wallet. $17, 100% of his wallet. Like, look, I understand you want to sell before the price gets lower and stuff, but come on, guys. Like, why even be in the project? If you're going to sell that quick, if you need the $17 to feed your family, then so be it. But, um, I'm hoping for some burns soon, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they plan on doing monthly burns. I don't know how quick that money's coming in, or how often that money's coming in for contracts and stuff. Or are they out of money not out of money, but out of burn money, because they're burning 50% of their profits or whatever it is of the data contracts that they're selling, is that money spread out to be burned throughout the year? Or, hey, if we sign a contract in September and we get paid in September, we're burning that money in September, and that's the end of it. That's one question I don't know. Maybe that needs to be asked in the AMA, the next whenever the next AMA is. So I know they've had a couple of changes in some change logs. No big client updates. Most recent client versions 1.12.1. Station heartbeats are now visible to everyone. Rank percentile now reads the way percentiles actually work. Fun fact is, even though I got my station on top of towers and I got some upgraded SDRs, I don't have anything in the top 10, 15%. So they must have some really good stations out there. Dashboard 7-day breakdowns are finished. Map fixes. Aircrafts no longer vanish when you toggle globe view. Wallets and mint wording. Has anybody messed with the wing nuts thing or the store? Has anybody purchased anything from the store from Wingbits or anything? Like, I haven't looked at any of that because I'm not holding wings on there. I like to pull my wings over to my Phantom wallet. I still hold, probably 90% of the wings I've gotten. Just I like to see what their value is and how much it goes up and all that. It's crazy. Still here, don't worry. That's my niece. Gonna have the kids moving. Hey, down saying something like moving to the coast. So Jay Styles can handle it next week. My daughter's going to college this weekend, so I don't know how I'm gonna cope. I know when my son went, how bad I was for 2 days. My wife's gonna have problems. So we might have to get Jay Styles to run this next week. I don't know. But I appreciate Jay Styles because I got all these boards and stuff and I gotta start printing all this crap out for this repeater stuff. And side businesses, side hustles. We were talking the other day at work how, when I was growing up, majority of y'all probably weren't born, early 80s, 70s, the husband had a job, the wife stayed home, then the wife went to work for a little bit extra money, right? Sometimes not full time, just to bring a little extra income to help the family. And now you got all these people working 2 and 3 jobs or working main jobs and side hustles. Hell, I got 2 side hustles just between this and this. And we won't even talk about the crypto and the YouTube side of it. It's crazy that you need that much just to survive these days. It's hustling. What else? Anybody got anything else? Make sure you hit the like button for me. Ooh, Scarlett says morning. What do you mean morning? I know you're not just waking up. What else? I know I don't want to keep talking about mesh stuff because I know that y'all not here for that. But really, that's the only thing I'm dealing with in life right now. My Wingbit stuff is still rolling. My 4D skies in the backyard, I know it's powered on. Last I checked, for some reason, it's not detecting planes. It's 237 degrees outside, and I'm not going to sit by my ditch in the back with the mosquitoes and troubleshoot it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll power cycle it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know if there's any updated news at all. Let's look at GeoNet. Following GeoNet's recent listings on Coinbase, Upbit, BingX, KSEX, and other exchanges, I'd like to clarify a few points. These listings were 100% organic and initiated independently by each exchange. GeoNet did not conduct an airdrop, provide any exchange-specific token output. I think we talked about this because people saw the price go up and then the price dumped so fast. They assumed that GeoNet gave them people assume GeoNet gave them all kinds of stuff and tokens, and that then those people dumping them, and they're trying to say that never happened. AMA, that was August 13th, which was this morning. That's where 619 got that information from. So if anybody else wants to type some notes of what happened, go ahead. Paradox Wireless is still on here. Hmm. Hmm. Says I was tagged in something, but I don't see shit. I want to go gold mining. Oh, let's see. That's it. That's it for announcement. GeoNet. GeoNet's running. I mean, I got 2 devices rolling for GeoNet, and they're rolling. All I can ask for. What's weird is one of them is rolling on Solana, the other one's rolling on Polygon still, because the Polygon one, I got a host that he gets a partial, and with the ones with the partial are still getting that. Polygon for some reason. You can't move to Solana. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at it since then. They're both rolling. They both go to straight to my Exodus wallet. So it's, it's on a pretty secure wallet. Um, Entropy. Does anybody know what the hell's going on with Entropy? I know Entropy is doing this vortex thing. Has anybody in here? I mean, I know I only got 9 people in here right now, but did anybody do the vortex thing? Because again, I'm gonna say this is not financial advice, because y'all know I feel horrible for what happened to a lot of people with Entropy with these Ashlers. Here's the fucking charger. With these Ashlers. But they got some people in my Discord talking about they made some pretty damn good money in a short amount of time with the Vortex thing. I don't know what the Vortex thing. If you're like me and you still have NFTs available, I had NFTs down at rock bottom pricing. I think they're like $25 a piece, and I still have all 6 or 7 of them. Nobody bought them. Supposedly you could have set them up in this open claw thing or something like that, and somehow made a few bucks. But as usual with the whole Entropy shit, if you sold it at the wrong time, you missed out. That's how quick it was. Because that's what the people in my Discord are bitching about, is they waited a tad too long, and all this liquidity or whatever the hell it is got pulled out or something, which is the same shenanigans that happened with the NFTs when the Ashlers were coming on, and you watch the price doing this, and then all of a sudden, I remember sitting, I did a video on it, is this, it was going straight up for hours, and it went to like 0.008 or something like that. Then all of a sudden, the bottom falls out because they go and pull all this liquidity out to pay themselves back to Solana for, I don't know if it was the NFTs they minted, which was bullshit, because they distinctly said, we're using Solana out of our own pocket for this. You never said you are going to pay yourself back pay yourself back out the pool. Look, I like the Entropy guys because they were really, it was just cool to see this groundswell of a community, cult like community. I thought Helium was crazy. Out of all the projects I've ever been in, I can say Entropy probably had one of the craziest groundswell. Like, people were digging holes, extravagant holes with machinery and all this shit, and decorating it with Chewbacca, Star Wars figurines, and all this stuff like that to get into this project. Now we can sit back and laugh about it because we can't believe. But again, we were making $45 a day. And now they're doing this vortex thing. Some people say, it all matters how you look at it. Some people say, hey, like, and I've even said it, at least they're trying something. They're trying something to keep this project alive. And you got other people bitching because it's like they're still trying to take money, or, they screwed everybody over in the first things, and now they can't win for nothing. I don't know. I'm all over the place with it. I'm curious to know if anybody tried it. Oh, we'll be empty nesters now. Yeah, Jay Styles. My wife and I are gonna be empty nesters. My daughter went out for. My daughter never goes out. She stays home and she does her studying and reads books in her room and stuff like that. Um, and I can't complain about it. But she met with my niece the other night and slept over. Did something, and my wife and I were just sitting there looking at each other like, okay, so what do we do now? Now, luckily, I got this going. She's starting an online store also. So maybe for the grumpy wives out there, I can start pushing her website, whatever she's doing. I don't know. Some kind of vinyl patterns or something. That's supposed to be some big thing right now. She's been busting her butt on that. She had a little health scare about a week or two ago, so she's resting from that, and she's doing this online store thing from the couch. And maybe I can get y'all to pass that on to y'all's wives whenever that's ready, and y'all can help. It could be the Grumpy Wives Club. I don't know. But yeah, we sitting there like there's nothing to watch on TV right now. So we just like, okay, I'm going in the office. That's what I say. Okay, I'm going in the office to go work on this shit. Because every night I'm in here working on websites and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know how we're gonna be empty nesters. We either be forced to get along, kill each other, or you know, just stay on opposite sides of the house. Likely that's what's gonna happen. The big thing is in crypto news I was going to bring up on stream today was the cold card hack. Cold storage card was fully hacked. Oh yeah, for 116, yeah, and making everybody uneasy for every wallet. And I wanted to bring it up earlier is I talked about Exodus. Yeah, I still consider what they call a hot wallet because it's still online. And while I somewhat feel secure with it, we used to always sit here and say over and over and over, the best wallet is a cold storage wallet, cold storage wallet, cold storage wallet. Well, then you got one that got hacked. Now, I'm still a fan of Trezor. I've never had enough crypto for me to, and I probably should. I got, look, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not half millionaire. I'm not even 100,000-aire. Like, I got some crypto. I got it all on Exodus or Phantom and stuff like that spread out. I don't keep anything on exchanges, anything at all on exchanges, even like Coinbase. I have nothing on that. It's either Phantom or it's Exodus. I still have faith in Trezor or what's the other cold storage wallet? Those have been pretty secure. So they still, other than this one time of it getting hacked, you still have less ledgers, the other one. So I still tell everybody cold storage cold, but I'm gonna tell you, but if you're like me and you're always moving crypto around, like for the side business and stuff I'm doing, I got people who are paying me in crypto because what kind of asshole would I be, hypocrite if I have an online store and you can't buy with crypto, right? Now I will tell you this. I did try to set up the Solana store because Shopify allows that. And even though I have uploaded my ID front and back, I had to update my certificate for LLC and registry and my articles and stuff like that from the state of Louisiana showing I have a business now and my bank information and all this shit. The Solana wallet still says they can't confirm my business. So I don't know how that works. But again, I still say like what kind of person would I be if I don't have a, I don't know if you know, with my cards being sold out right now. Yeah, you won't even let you see how to pay. But yeah, you can even use um crypto to buy the Grumpy board, to buy the Grumpy repeater when that comes out probably late this month, if not early next month. So you can pay in USDC and that kind of stuff. And maybe by then my Solana wallet will finally get okayed. Because y'all know I'm a huge fan of Solana and I wanted to have Solana available for those people who wanted to pay. Or contact me and pay me directly. I'll work out something with you. Um, I don't know how that would work with a receipt or something, but I would take Solana and some cryptos. I'm not taking your Entropy. I'm not taking your DFly, not taking your Helium. But I would take some cryptos and stuff from y'all. I got Scarlett who's making my boards. She takes crypto from me when I have to pay her to buy the board stuff. But what I was getting at is, you know, if you're moving crypto like I am, that's why I like Phantom. I can move it from Wingbits to, from Wingbits to my Phantom, change it to USD, send it to people and stuff like that. I couldn't use a hard wallet for that, a cold storage wallet for that. But like my Solana that I never touch, my Cardano, my Atom that I never touch, I probably need to put it on a Treasure because Treasure works alongside of Exodus. So maybe one day I'll get off my ass. And what's gonna happen is I'm end up screwing something up. Something else. That's the one downside of it being open source. The flaw would have been very defined if it was closed source. They put 2,000 back into entropy after it pumped. I knew Jay Styles would get me clear on that. Entropy low hacks. Vortex was a pump and dump meme coin they used to make money off the followers. They put 2,000 back into entropy after it pumped it 256,000 when they sold all. To be reasonable, the cold wallet wasn't hacked, but the flaw in the key generation code was discovered in reverse engineered to get the keys. Correct. They used Fable to hack it via the flaw. I would say that's one downside. Very true. I love my Ledger Flex. I bought it for $4 now to keep my Yuri display on it. Yeah, to be the good, responsible YouTuber, social person, whatever you want to call me this week, I tell everybody if you're not going to spend your crypto today or tomorrow and you know you're going to hold on to it, make sure that your cold wallet can support that. Because from what I'm told, like I'm familiar with, like, say, Phantom and Exodus. Exodus has started getting a little strict on what they hold, but like Phantom, as long as it's a Solana based token, you can send it to it. From what I understand, your cold storage wallets don't hold on to every token, even though it's Solana and they might have some Solana tokens on there. So just for anybody who's watching who might be new to this whole cold storage thing, make sure before you buy a particular cold storage that whatever tokens you want to hold on, like me, I probably wouldn't even put my Solana on it because my Solana, I don't know how that would work with Exodus, but all my Solana is staked through Exodus because Exodus has on some tokens some very excellent staking rates. Like 14%, 20%, 22% on some tokens. Like Atom at one point was 22%. It didn't make up for the price dumping from $40 to $1.50. But to unstake it, you have to wait 21 days. I don't know how that works. But a lot of my other tokens on Exodus, I could put on a cold storage wallet if the cold storage wallet could handle it. I don't know if it handles like helium, even though I don't have hardly any helium. I moved that to Solana and I did good because I did that with Solana when it was back at like $70 or something like that, or $69 or whatever that dip was. I did pretty good with that timing. Yeah, Solana's at $76 right now. So, um, I don't know, some of y'all, back when all this news was coming with and shit was crashing, is that when all this is? When did all this news about somebody quitting and something else? I don't know. But yeah, Solana was down to like, well, that was helium I'm thinking of. That that got dumped. I still bought Solana like $68, $69, $70. So I'm up a little bit. Thought it went up to $86, but what the hell do I know? So I'm up a little bit with my cashing finally. And I know a lot of y'all said I should have cashed in that helium a long time ago, but listen to 619's advice. Um, you know, I finally sold. But this is sad. This is like 93% in a year. $2, and I kept waiting. I kept waiting for it to go back to $5 and go back to $4, go back to $1. Just go back to $1. And I said F it at a certain point. H&T, are you ready for pump? Shut the fuck up. Jeez, I hate the curse on here, but that's definitely, tell me if this, oh, y'all can't even see it, huh? let me rephrase. Let me move this over just so y'all can see why I'm cursing. Are you the king of Forex? Dude, what the hell are you the king of? Are you ready for pump? What? Oh, that's horrible. Who's buying this crap? This is grass. I know I got my screen zoomed in too much. Like, who's buying this? That's, I made a killing off of this. If y'all saw shorting it when all this news came out. But who's buying this? Still down 16% for the month. 59% for the year. So it didn't have, 90 cents, 15 cents, 56 cents. Yeah, I shorted it all through here. And guys, let's go long on grass. Who the like? Maybe not financial advice. Maybe it is time to long on grass. Can't get any lower, can it? Mm. You know how I can guarantee grass gets lower? Let me go long it. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't even flash off firmware on devices they were selling with the firmware they were properly using the RNG function. You know what, guys? I'm reading all that shit that I don't understand, RNGs and all stuff. You know what I'm gonna tell you? I'm gonna leave everything on Exodus. I'm not telling anybody to follow me. This is my usual do as I say, not as I do moment. I'm telling y'all to be safe, but guess what? Grumpy ain't going to use no. I don't know. I ain't seen nothing happen to Treasure. Knock on wood. I'm sure somebody's gonna pull some article out somewhere, but I haven't seen anything with Treasure yet. So, oh, what else, ladies and gentlemen? What else? So Amsoil has released some new formulations for the signature oil. These manufacturers like GM and stuff keep coming out with new specs because then they want everybody licensed as a GL product and all this crap like that. So, you know, but they cannot void a warranty for not using their own oil. Make sure you know that. At least in the United States, they cannot void a warranty for not using their oil unless they give you that oil for free and they put that in writing and give it to you when you buy their vehicle equipment or whatever like that. So 016. That's kind of there's a 08 out now. I think Toyota's got a 08. Dude, you might just put water. That might be thinner than fucking water. That's crazy. Crazy. Amsoil is another thing I have not kept up at all. I have my store, cbsynthetics.com. I have about 20 different Napa or different auto parts stores that just automatically order for me every month. Pays my son's truck note, and it just keeps us, it's just on auto roll. I don't have time to go cold call these mechanic shops and go to these different auto parts stores. I'm comfortable. I've been doing it for 20 years now. And it just rolls. It's a great product. I've used Amsoil since 1993 when I started driving. And I've used it in every vehicle I've owned since then. lawnmower or generators for hurricanes, weed eaters. I've had people with weed eater with landscape companies who told me they would blow heads every season for the amount of weed eating they were doing commercially, and I gave them a bottle of this shit of our two-stroke oil, and they told me how their weed eaters were lasting like onto their third or fourth season, and if they were breaking, it had nothing to do with the motors this time. It was just because of other shit. I stand by it. It's something I wouldn't sell it if y'all know me. I wouldn't sell something that I'd have to worry about people coming late and attacking me about and shit. That's for sure. What else? Now we're talking about freaking oil. Oh goodness! Now we got the weird mesh thing in oil. Yep. You the last person to talk about the weird mesh thing, Scarlett. Your name's the one all over the grumpy board. I don't want to hear that. There's an honest mistake, and there's nothing you can do now to fix it for people that have lost everybody. But what I'm wondering is, Kyle Coffee, D-Pen's dead. You must be taking a note out of 619's notebook since he's not here. I can't believe he's not here. I told him he was running the thing tonight, so that's probably why he's not here. But I know it's hard to make an insurance claim for millions of dollars. But follow me when I say, again, I don't use cold wallet. So I'm going to make this comment. Y'all might be laughing at me when I say this. But shouldn't there be some type of warranty or guarantee, insurance, something that says, I followed all the instructions correctly and did not do anything stupid to compromise my keys or anything with my crypto? These people, these customers who are using this cold wallet did not do anything wrong, legally or stupidly or anything. It shouldn't be their responsibility. They can't recoup the money, but to me, that should be on the manufacturer. Like, they got to be getting sued or something, or have some kind of insurance or something or do something to track this. Like, you can't. To me, again, this is me. I'm on outside. I don't use cold wallets. I know this sounds stupid, but what's the lure of handling a cold wallet that if it gets hacked anyway, the manufacturer can say, "Oh, sorry, we're going to do a software update and patch this hole." That. At least on Exodus, I know I'm taking that risk that this is not the most secure thing in the world. But me, I could have all my crypto on a cold wallet in my safe, which is in a hand safe, locked, keys in somewhere else, inside of my big gun safe that is locked. And you tell me somebody can still steal my crypto and the company who sold me this wallet isn't responsible? Scarlett, I agree with you, but my point is, who would trust if it's that simple? Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but haven't we seen some exchanges that got hacked give people back their money? I guess it maybe depends on the amounts, but I do remember some people getting reimbursed in some hacks when they knew it wasn't their fault. It might have been the exchange's fault. They have to pay a lot for insurance. I don't know. Up to the company, Odin Sons. I mean, how you doing, Odin? How you been, man? I'm gonna say hi first before I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Up to the company to step up and help them out. Otherwise, it will show maybe that they had a part in it. That's a way of looking at it. I agree with you. Part of me that doesn't understand this is going to say, how much insurance do you keep? You know, in your mind, you're selling cold wallets and you're like, this shit ain't going to happen. All I need is $1 million worth of insurance. So if you have $1 million worth of insurance, you're still 9 million short, right? Do you just hope that somehow some cyber FBI 3-letter hat guys can track this shit down and get some of it back and partially refund people? I mean, the whole cold storage wallet is you keeping it offline. How do they anybody can now come in and claim now that they had stuff stolen, right? Like, how does that even work? You have keys for tokens that ain't there no more? Like, I don't know. But I agree with you. It would be hard to insure that because to me, if you have $10 million insurance, that cost is being passed on in that USB you're buying, or whatever you want to call it, the cold wallet. How much is that shit going to cost them when they have to reimburse it? Let's spread them costs out to everybody. I don't know. Grumpy, hopefully you got in the demo pump this week to exit. My bag is going now. Demo. I didn't know demo's still a thing. Demo pump. Are you going to make me look at this and realize it didn't pump and make me look like a fool? Let's look. Oh, we had a little pump there. Huh. We went from 0.006. Oh, you know what this is? Is this subscriptions? Because in August, you had subscriptions renewing. Because I've watched a lot of people say they didn't renew their shit. So was that demo memberships and stuff like that? What happened to this? Like, let's turn back the time back thing. Way back machine. Income. I'll pull up my spreadsheet. All right, so February, Christmas was a penny. August of 20, let's see, a year ago. Let's see, a year ago. A year ago, here you go. August 11th, Demo was worth 5 cents. 5 cents. We're making 21 cents a day a year ago. 21 cents a day. That means that with my 3 devices I had, I was making 60. No, I had 5 devices. I was making a quarter. Here's a quarter, kid. There you go. Some of you don't know about them old timers doing that. Let's see. That was May of last year. Demo was at 8 cents. August 19th, 13 cents. So 2 years ago, we were at 14 cents. 14 cents. It was taking 312 days at 14 cents. 312 days to ROI. We're making 32 cents a day per device. Oh, well, that was Demo. Voting is live on 2 Demo proposals. If you hold or delegate Demo, you have until August 17th for DIP 12, the protocol direction. Sounds like a fucking movie. A protocol direction. Demo. Demo focus on the open protocol for vehicle data. One-time burn from the Treasury, weekly baseline issuance in. DIP 13, Foundation Treasury reform. The Foundation spends only under budgets approved by token holder vote. This reminds me of helium shit. Like, we're just going to throw a bunch of shit against the wall, see if it does anything for token price or token value. God bless. Let me ask y'all this. Let's put a poll up because I'm bored and I want to put a poll up. I don't ever play with polls. So here we go. Here. Well, we've been in some freaking doozy projects. Here we go. Oh no, I gotta add one more just for J Styles. Hold on. There we go. Everybody go vote in the poll. I wish these cheat codes had built-in gamble like poker slots to make them worth something. I agree with you. Throw them all into something. I can't even vote on my own poll, man. That's the good thing about having 4 YouTube channels. So I can actually just go use one of my other YouTube channels, right? And that would even give me a better view. For those of y'all who are bored and got nothing going on, if y'all could please go to my other YouTube channel after this is over with, Grumpy Dad Mesh, which is also my outdoors channel. I am this close for that one being finally monetized. I can get $1.50 per video like I do on this channel. It's only got like, I only need a couple of 100 hours worth, which sounds like a lot until you realize I needed like 4,000 to start to get. So I'm like this close. If y'all have an old computer or old iPad or old something, and y'all can turn it on Wi-Fi and just watch one of my playlists overnight, that's probably all it would take. Help a brother out with that. Now look, so I'm on my other YouTube. Now I gotta make a decision on which one. If I had to get into one project, you have to get into one project. You got a gun to your head, you know, or they'll tell you you'll never eat steak, or for people who are vegetarians, you'll never get to eat soup again or tofu. You have to vote for one. Which one would you put your money into today? Come on, guys. I can't make that decision, you know, because I don't want nobody to think that I have faith that any of these projects are going to go up, because I don't. I think they're all suck. But if you had to guess on one project that possibly has a, I'm not saying they're going to turn it around, but let's just say that you would start it and make a couple of nickels, a couple of shiny nickels in the quarter, kid. What do you think it would be? I'm voting for helium, only because I know where I made in the past with helium, but they still have a product going. Entropy seems to be, no matter what they do, it seems to be a meme token. Demo lied from the beginning saying that they were going to be selling our data from our cars, and then whatever. Then they tried saying we didn't say we were selling data of cars. We're just making it available to you to sell your data of the cars. Yeah, right. Whatever. Like, how the hell are we supposed to do that? So I don't agree with Demo and Grass. There's no way I would ever trust Grass again, ever. I don't care, because I still think if you started today with helium with 2 or 3 devices, and you started with Grass online, you'd still make money, more money with helium. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Kyle says they're changing YouTube hours to 8,000. Yes, it didn't take effect yet. That's why I'm so worried. And I have never, ever, ever asked for people to watch my videos, ever, ever. I've never asked for that in all my years, even on this channel or anything. And that's why, I think that doesn't take effect till like February or something. Yeah, starting February 1st. So as long as you already have your tokens, I mean, as long as you already have your accepted my 4,000 by then, which I'm telling you, my 4,000 will be here by the end of the month. I'm hoping, with your help, maybe I just won't have to worry about it no more. But yeah, I'm thinking that yeah, I got to make now I got to make I have the Grumpy Peter page. I need to go and add, now that I revealed some pictures, I need to go add pictures to this web page. For those of y'all who have been here long enough, y'all know one of my best friends, he lost a daughter about 3 or 4 years ago. If y'all remember me telling y'all that story, her name was Avery Natel. They have a foundation for her where they give scholarships and stuff like that. This is one of my best friends. There's not too many guys that can say they had a best friend since second grade. Me and him still talk every day. That's the guy I have all the crypto stuff with and everything like that I've tell you all about from Slidell. And his daughter, who did not drink, was straight and arrow angel, got killed with it by 18-wheeler, coming home from college to help her sister get ready for prom in the broad daylight. And it was horrible. I'll never forget when I got that phone call. I wanted to go up there because I was working and I couldn't even get close to it. Like if I wanted to, it was bad. And I decided that there are some people who want me and him do hunting together. We have hunting leases kind of close to each other, so we're always talking hunting. He's asking questions about this because there's very shitty cell service there. He's been asking about mesh core and about what we're doing with that. So I've wanted to make a very small form factor repeater to hang around your hunting leases so that you can have at least mesh service throughout your hunting lease. And I have decided that I'm going to start R&D in this closer when I'm done with the current two things we're dealing with now. But later in the year, I'm going to come up with the Avery repeater, because the first repeater is called the King repeater. That's the King of Kings. The next one, the metal one that I'm coming out with, is called the Grumpy Knight repeater, like knight in shining armor, King Arthur type of shit. And then this one's going to be called the Avery repeater. And good amount of those profits, I haven't decided exact percentage yet. It matters how things are rolling around then, but a good amount of them profits, probably 50%, somewhere around there, is all going to be donated to the Avery Natel Foundation, give scholarships to these kids who come out of high school in the Slidell area, St. Tammany Parish area, and stuff like that, and keep that going. So, yeah. See, I'm not grumpy all the time. Family first. I've told y'all, if y'all ever watched my videos, family first, friends first, everything first. This other shit will still be around. All right. We got other projects rely on helium. That's a good way of looking at it. I still ask y'all this question every time. I'm hoping 619 or some of these other guys would have this answer, but I still want to know. Demo runs off of helium. Weather XM still runs off of helium. That's too for a fact that I know runs off the Helium IoT network. Is that contract renewed every year? Was that a 5-year contract that should be coming up for renewal at some point? Was that a 10-year contract, a 3-year contract? Because I'm curious with the lack of coverage that's around. Like I look at my parish. I had 10 repeaters for helium around here. Every hex was basically covered between me or other people. I have all of mine turned off now. I use those layered for all my mesh core projects. You go around my parish now, there is not a single helium device, as far as I remember, active. So if you drive around with Demo, or if you had a Weather XM device in your backyard, there's no coverage now. And I think those two companies are going to say, I've told you the story many times about my son in North Louisiana. He has spots all over the place. His Demo didn't work. I had to send a helium device up there. And then Demo went under, and I said, screw that helium device. And I reused the Pi in it. And I reused the antenna. But my point I'm trying to make is, are these companies at some point, these companies are no longer going to renew that service. Right? And what happens to helium then? I've always said that. I know it's like a broken record. Now, helium does still have was it CBRS or the inside Wi-Fi offloading thing, helium mobile and stuff like that. Right now, that still works. So, I mean, I can kind of agree with what Odin says. Odin's a pretty bright dude. He's in here a lot, spitting facts, spitting some alpha. Him, Kyle, Jay Styles, they know what the hell they're talking about. I'll give it to all of them. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was hoping those guys would be here because I haven't been keeping up with none of this shit. None of it. I just rolled in from work. God forbid y'all didn't see me even setting this up to do the countdown thing. I didn't even have a shirt on yet because I couldn't find none of my shirts hanging up right here. So I'm like, please, camera, don't turn on. Please, camera, don't turn on. I had to make sure the countdown calculator was on because God forbid I'd lose all my 35,000, 36,000 subscribers if you would have saw that horrible shit. And then as it was counting down, I went grab a strictly Diet Coke drink, and put my shirt on. And this is the only shirt I had hanging up right here on the hanger. It is what it is. Tomorrow, going to Grand Isle. I gotta go when I get off this. I gotta go to the store, buy some bait, crab bait, and go load up the truck. Going down to Grand Isle. I got my Wingbits device offline down there. One out of the two. And like I said, I was hoping for mass chain device, mass node to be here. No, my luck, it'll be here Monday, but I haven't got notified of nothing. I gotta look into that. So Odin said he hoped to hit the hit. So Odin, which solo Bitcoin miner did you go with? Because that was something when we were doing these lives every Tuesday, Thursday, and stuff. That was something that people were really starting to get on. Was these, and like I said, you knew it was going to be the same thing, just like the ASICs. You're going to start here with this level, and then you need this one, then you need this one, you need this. The next thing you know, they're all going crazy again. Hey, if you want to play around with any of this shit, make sure that you use the Grumpy code. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it's been a while since I've seen somebody use my code. It kind of just tells me that people aren't buying this shit, or I haven't been doing enough videos for people to know about my code. It could be that too. I don't know what's going on with helium deploy. Like $500, $42. Again, I'm gonna tell you this. This is not financial advice. I hate saying these kind of things because I don't want people to assume Grumpy is saying go get this. But I think at least the last time I looked at this, it's been 2 months since I've looked at what I'm about to look at. I don't know if I do the Bitcoin thing because people are buying farms and farms of these things, right? But you could get the ones that mine Doge, Litecoin, and stuff. And when you looked at what those, like $800 for this, like, let's see, like who's script miners? $105. Can you imagine leaving a 100-watt light bulb on all day? Maybe that's the old dad in me. Turn them freaking lights off. What I wanted to see is at one time it showed you this was your chances of hitting a block with a script miner versus a there you go. This one won't have it's still loading. Unavailable. I wanted to see what it said the odds were per hour to hit this. Because at one time the script one seemed to have been the way to go. I want to see the numbers. I want to see numbers just so everybody knows. I know there's a lot of people who attack these things and dog them and say negative things about it. But you know what? It's been no secret that with these things, you have very little chance of hitting a solo block. But every now and then, somebody does hit a solo block. And if you hit a solo block by itself, like in Bitcoin, That's like $300,000 coming your way. So it's the same thing as, I guess, buying a lottery ticket. Would I go buy one of these for $500 something dollars? Ain't no way. That's just me, not financial advice. You can take that chance, but I would, if I had money to, I don't have money to blow with all this mesh stuff I got going on right now. But again, you know, on a script miner, like if this, like this, I, I would like. I've always wanted to have one little script, like one little solo monitor, just to have one. You know, I was hoping they would give some to the YouTubers just to do videos on them, but I guess they're selling too well; they don't need to. Um, but but while you don't make $300,000, you still can hit a block for Doge or Litecoin, at least at one point, much easier. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying you're going to hit one. I'm not saying you can buy 20s and never hit one. I'm just saying you have a better chance. And that's why I was trying to find this thing earlier that showed what, I guess the thing's broken. I wanted to show what the chances are of hitting this block. Let's see if this one's going to load and work. I wonder if they just accidentally don't work. I wonder why. If y'all on your phone, exit out the chat real quick, hit the like button, and then come back into the live chat. See, unavailable. It's awfully peculiar, isn't it? At least this one's only 32 watts. It's not 100 watts. But again, it's the same thing as people buying lottery tickets. I'm in the gas station and I'm in a rush. I'm trying to pay for my gas or grab a drink or something. And you got this people who show up with 20 lottery tickets and they can't check them themselves. And they want each one scanned and each one scanned and each one scanned. I'm like, you think how much money you're spending on that? I guess it's the same thing with this. You just buying a lot. It's automatically buying a lottery ticket from me. And I can handle $300,000. Because with this, I'm not saying doing it, but you probably don't even have to claim it on taxes. They ain't gonna know. Where with the lottery, you got to pay half that to taxes. They didn't do shit for it. That's why I said, but you know, this is way harder. Way harder. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what the Terminator says. The odds of hitting a solo Bitcoin block depend on your device's hash rate. Whether that surpassing standard home hobby running a 260 turns has a 1 in 23,000 chance per day, 1 in 64 of hitting a block. But the smaller home devices, BitAxe or USB miners, face extreme odds upwards 1 in 170 million per block. See, 1 in 5,000 with the other one. Now, you make less. Each successful solved block is 6 Litecoin. Plus the Doji coin too, right? The Dogecoin, Litecoin. That's the cockroach that won't go away. I've always said that. $44. I used to kick ass with Litecoin with my ASIC miner, my L3 plus plus. 44. So you get 6.25. So while your odds are much better, you still you only get $280. You don't even pay yourself back for the miner. So Pure luck set. Hey, but that's all it is. But everybody knows it. Like Odin says he got a bunch of small ones just relying on pure luck set. But you say it like that, but at no point did they make it seem like I've always tried to defend these little things because at no point did anybody ever make it seem like it was possible for you to get it. Like everybody knew about buying these little devices. It was just a prayer in hell. Like you were just spitballing it. And nobody really made it seem like you had really a chance to do it, right? You know, um, you knew that if you tried to do a pool, the hash rate was so low, you weren't going to really get anything out of it. So that's the fun. Like I wouldn't mind just buying one and let it sit right here, and knowing that chances are I'm never going to hit it, never count on it, and I'm wasting electricity. Um, I don't know. Litecoin. Hmm. Remember when Litecoin was almost at $1? You do them on Doge and Litecoin, you make it almost $1,000 per block. There you go. There you go. Crow says mining calculator is at the bottom of the screen. I didn't see that, but I'll take your word for it. The mining calculator, when I tried it, didn't work. The mining rewards estimate, it just loads. Oh well, I'm getting hungry. It's new, right? Gotta go load the truck up. Um, so Crow says Meshcore is non-existent Grand Isle a couple of weeks ago when I went. Plenty of places to put some up. Oh, I got places I can put it up. The problem is I'm not hitting nothing else. Um, it's you talking about way down here. I got a spot to put one here, and I got a spot to put one here. I would really like to try to get a spot here. I'm gonna get with my contacts at one of the local public safeties here and tell them, hey, this is what I got. I need you to find 2, 3 spots for it. There is about a 400-foot tower here that I also have given um, the Port Authority. They have a tower, about a 50, 60-foot tower around here that according to line of sight calculator, should easily see my 650-foot site here. And with that being here, the one that's there, and if I can get one here, there's no spots really high enough that I think it's going to hit this or hit in here. This is non-existent. This was one somebody was playing with offshore, but it's not there no more. This one's on top of a hospital. That's hold on, I'm putting one in home on top. This one's on the hospital. So we still got a lot of work to do this way, but I can't keep. I think I'm up to 46 repeaters that I've deployed. Um, the last 2 or 3, 4, 5 people have donated most of the parts. Like the one I donated today. I mean the one that somebody that I put out today. Um, one of these. Made that one. The guy who lives here who can't hit anything for some reason donated the parts for this one, a majority of the parts. So I gotta thank him because I don't have money for all these things anymore. This is on top of the St. Charles Parish EOC, but we're building out, man. We're building out, and Scarlett has been very good with that, and some of these other guys that are in here, and we're gonna get it. It's just I have all these EOCs calling me now. I met with all the fire chiefs of a certain parish. They're putting these things out at every fire station. They want to put my repeaters out, so I got 10 already pre-sold whenever those come out, and it is what it is. Party that can make me 40,000 for my wedding. I can't help you with that one. I told you that. Maybe with helium back in the day, but all right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it. Please hit that like button on the way out. Please, if you don't mind, I'll even make it easy for you. If you don't mind, go to the Grumpy Dad Mess channel, and you know, before you go take a bath tonight or something like that, go ahead and put your computer or your iPad or your phone on. All you gotta do is look. You go to playlist and watch one of these playlists. And in this corner right here, look, you press this little dot, and this is gonna automatically roll. That's all you gotta do. Let it roll for a day, if you don't mind, so I can hit my numbers before they go and increase everything. So, um, I thank everybody for support. I think everybody's sticking around. Look, I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb. Like I have been a little absent from the Grumpy Dad Discord. There's just a lot of life going on right now between starting this LLC, my daughter going to college in 2 days, and just work and health and everything else going on. I'm even getting booted out of my fantasy baseball club after 20 something years. I'm not happy with that. That was very nasty because I haven't been able to participate like I want to, and it's a very competitive league. It is what it is. Can't cry with spilled milk. So what's the process of getting on the tower? I'm gonna tell you right now and be dead honest with you, it's who you know. I don't know anybody. I have people from Florida to Texas who are asking me that same question. And I tell them I don't know anybody who has been successful with a blind email or blind letter to so and so company asking to get on their tower, or so and so parish or county to get on their water tower. It's all about who you know. You have to get that foot in the door that they know you are somebody who they can trust to put you on that kind of infrastructure. I'm gonna tell you, if you see a cell phone cellular site, just get it out your mind right there. Look at, you can pass by and see who is the owner or leasee or leaser or whatever it's called, like American Tower or one of these companies like that. And SBC is another one. And that's about $1,000 a month. They don't care if you're putting emergency communications on it or if you're putting a box this big or a box this big. It's about $1,000 a month. That's why we built our own tower at work with a grant, because we were spending $5,000 a month on site site on that tower, space on that tower. So it's all about who you know. That is why I think I've been able to put 46 repeaters up, is because me being on these boards and being friends with so many people around the state, I don't want to use the term burned favors, because it makes it sound like I forced them to do something they didn't want to do. Once I explained what MeshCore was doing and how you can use it with hurricanes and how you can use it without cellular, without internet and all this stuff like that, they were into that. We have a good group of people here who are worried about backup comms, and we have other backup comms, and we just look at it as another tool in the toolbox. Once GOSEP, which is our state governor's Homeland Security EOC, got on board, even more EOCs. I think we got like 6 or 7 EOCs now that are on board just in our area. With more, we're supposed to be doing a tower climb next weekend with another EOC that's letting us go to 400 feet on that tower, which is going to get us into Mississippi. And it's an ongoing thing. And the more fire departments we can get on, the more EOCs we can get on, then the next parish finds out. And it's just growing. And we have some really good people here who are working together. And that's the key thing also, is our Gulf Coast mesh, as I call it, comprises of even people from Texas that are involved with it, and Louisiana, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Slidell, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Houma. You saw that North Shore, um, into Mississippi, and not just the coast of Biloxi and the Gulfport area, but Hattiesburg, where I'm at. We even guys coming in now in Jackson trying to start. Then you have Alabama. Then now you have people in Florida. Now you have to worry about regional scoping and making sure we don't overwhelm the mesh. And it's an ongoing thing. But we have it's a very good problem to have because everybody comes in on Monday nights in our meeting and we all want to work together. And it's been a good thing. It's been a good thing that, we've had one or two bad actors who wanted to spoil the bunch, and they're not with us no more. Like, they realize that shit ain't gonna work, and they have moved on. It is what it is. Do we have a ham group? I mean, we have several ham clubs that we belong to, but I don't know what area you're in. Like, if you're in Louisiana, we have a Louisiana ham Facebook page, but I'm a ham. And that's where a lot of these contacts have come from. I spoke to several ham groups because a lot of these people know me from being on the state boards and because I've been a ham for over 10 years and I have an extra and I'm very, used to do a lot of the HF stuff. So people know me now. And I was vice president of one of the ham clubs out here for years. And those people have helped me, with the mesh stuff. And it's funny because you can go talk to the Hammond Ham Club, and these guys jumped all over mesh. We had guys who said, told me, "Hey, I have 100-foot tower in my backyard. You can go, I don't even want to deal with mesh, but you can have space on it wherever you want." I bet we have 4 or 5 people who told us that. Then I go to another ham group where I used to be the vice president of, and I'm friends with all these guys, and not a single one is offering us mesh space and don't want to get involved in it. They got their own little niche they deal with, POTA, HF, if y'all see my videos on my other channel. And they just don't want nothing to do with it. And it's crazy how, you can go and look at certain areas, and the ham group is so active here, and the Slido ham group starting to grow this. And then you look right here, and from up here to down here, this is new. This is new, like in the last day or two. August 13th. So that's today. So these two are brand new. So up until a week ago, this is Ascension Parish with Ascension Parish Ham Club. There was not a single mesh core repeater in it. It's just weird. And ham people are weird. And I can say that because I'm a ham. We're weird. We're a weird group. Weird group. Do you have opinion on filters for your nodes? Well, y'all gonna turn this into a mesh group, huh? Well, I mean, I only got 6 people left, so I guess we can. I have very mixed feelings on filters on nodes. I've been told that certain people's filters, like WeHooper, if y'all have ever seen WeHooper 4, I'm a huge WeHooper 4 fanboy. He has these filters that I put one on my one of my nodes, and it made a gigantic difference. But the problem with the filters is you only have 1 watt of power. If you're using a 1 watt device, if you're using a P1 device, P1 stands for piss. That's piss poor. The P1 repeater. V3 rack. V4 has a little more power to it, but these filters are so lossy that yes, you've had guys in California who were helping us out when we first got started, and they would say these things are very lossy, but they clean up the signal so much that it's worth it. I just can't see me spending more for a cavity filter than what the whole repeater cost. I'm gonna tell you, I have devices on top of locations that are right next to cellular equipment. The cellular equipment now is so high in the gigahertz range it doesn't even show up on the helium stuff. The noise level doesn't even show up on the helium level. I know this is a long answer, but I'm just saying, like, it's this one has a filter on it, and the signal really doesn't do any better than this one. That this one has a better signal, lower height, with no filter on it. This one right here, look at all these reds that are coming out of it, is literally sandwiched between two cellular sectors, and it has no filter on it, and the noise level is not bad. It's, filtering does help, but I think at some point filtering can hurt you also because of the amount of loss. And the problem is once you lose, while you might help you receive better, you might clean up your transmitter a little bit, but if you having a half watt radio and you're taking, you know 1, 2, 3 dB out of it, you're left with a 0.2, 0.25 watt radio. You're not busting through trees, and you're not. That's why, like, people who say, like, y'all all don't need 1 watt radios. I don't know where you're at, but our trees are made of cement. We have areas that are on top of each other right now. This has been our most pain in the ass area. This area right here. This has been our most pain in the ass. You can ask anybody in here who's in from the Gulf Coast mesh. These things on top of each other, and they can't talk to each other. Look how there's no dots in. You see how there's no lines in between them? Because the trees are so bad. I have a repeater right here that doesn't even show up because the trees around it are so bad. These all need 1 watt repeaters. So these people who want to come into Facebook groups and make asinine comments, 'cause I'm starting to get them now about my device because it's 1 watt. Y'all don't need 1 watt. You know what? When you're from California and you're in certain areas that you have all these mountains and these fancy things and stuff like that, you're right. Alpha antennas work. You don't need 1 watts. Guess what? I have repeaters that are a mile and a half apart that had alphas on them, and they can't see each other. But yet you'll have somebody from California who'll come on here and say, I use alpha antennas and get 30 miles out of them. Dude, why are you telling people that? Because 99% of people who buy an alpha for $12, if there's a high site like this that's 500 feet up and you live right here, yes, an alpha antenna is going to work. But again, where I try to use alphas at, it didn't work. Filters wouldn't have helped this. We don't have, luckily, in my parish where I'm at, this is where I work at, but we don't have 915 megahertz water meters, electric meters, or anything. The most that's 900 megahertz is there's 3 or 4 water towers, because I talked to the parish about it. There's 3 or 4 water towers that didn't have internet connections at the base, so they're using for telemetry from tower to tower, and then eventually one gets into some kind of transmitter or something somewhere on a different frequency that goes back to the utility office. That's it. So my noise levels around here ain't bad at all, 900. Now we got people talking about they're trying to do shit in Shreveport right now, and the problem with Shreveport is everything is on 900 megahertz. At least what they're telling me. All this electrical shit they're doing, electric meters and electric poles with the electric company, everything's 900 mil. They're gonna have problems up there. Filter might not work. You might need a 1 watt with a filter, but what I was looking for was the Wii Hooper boards. Me and Scarlett bought a bunch of Wii Hooper boards at one point. See, if you have a Pi, this Wii Hooper board right here is the shit. I think I got like 4 of them. But what I wanted to see is Trying to find a Wii Hooper little filter. I had pictures of it and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is. What's a decent beginner height? 25 feet to 100 feet. Height is might. Remember that in RF. Height is might. Do not worry. I have a video. It's my most popular mesh video at all. It stirred all kinds of shit. But my grumpy people have been here with me for a long time. Um, do you expect anything different? But the grumpy repeater, I mean, the antenna video has been um, my most popular mesh video, over 1,000 views. Did not pay for those views or anything like that. And this video has stirred the shit. But all this shit, like I used to preach this in all the helium Facebook groups and the helium posts and stuff about, don't worry about the whole DBI thing. Get the max you can afford, get whatever it is, and get that distance. This shit about, I'm going to stand 20 feet underneath it and it's not going to have coverage. Who cares? It's not like that. I have videos of me at my 650-foot site of where that 650-foot mesh core repeater is, and I can stand directly underneath it 600 feet down, and I am transmitting to it straight up. I have videos in that video of me at a hospital and at my other tower site that's 250, 300 feet up, one that's 400 feet up, that I'm standing underneath it and I can hit it. This whole thing about don't get this video, I mean, don't get this certain antenna because of the coverage underneath it. How often are you standing directly underneath the transmitter? Then how often are you 100 feet, a mile, 2 miles, 5 miles away and wish you had coverage? Get the best antenna you got. I would tell you, it's also, you don't want to use feedline with mesh projects. You want to have a you want to have your repeater with a connector on top and your antenna directly on it, and your radio right here or somewhere and mounted with the little bitty tab feedline thing, whatever it is that goes right here. You don't want feedline. If you have feedline, maybe a foot of like LMR 400 or something like that, because again, you're at high frequencies, 915 megahertz, 910 is what we're using here, but only with a half to 1 watt. You can't afford loss with this. So the good thing about mesh is you don't have to worry about power and you don't have to worry about network. So you can go put that on top of a tower. The problem comes in is updating, and that we're not even gonna get involved in that. That's why my repeater is so popular, because you can update over Wi-Fi, where the rest of most of them are Bluetooth. Um, so if you can get some 100-foot high and you're getting the actual repeater that high with the antenna on it that high, I would do 100 feet to make sure that you can hit those whatever mesh around you. Now, again, if you are within a mile of a mountain or a building or a tower and you have free line of sight to a repeater, 25 feet will work great for you. It's going to be a lot easier to update that firmware. I'm going to tell you, I have on if I could afford it, I can tell you right now what antenna I recommend every day and which one I would buy every day, and they're not the same. The antenna that I recommend to everybody, even though I've did these videos and I've recommended other ones in the past, things change. China changes. Kids graduate elementary school and they need new sweatshops or something. I don't know. But the only antenna to this day that I really recommend the people to buy is the Rockland 10 dBi backcountry. And I can show you results. If y'all want to sit here and keep this going and turn this into a mesh live, maybe I need to start doing a mesh lives on Tuesday night. So we talked about um, this one right here that's getting some crazy mileage, right? And if you follow some of these lines, you're getting some crazy mileage. And this is a layered FG9026, easily getting 30, 40 miles like it ain't nothing. This antenna right here that's hitting all the way there, this is about a 30-mile shot. This is a layered FG9026. My one in Baton Rouge that comes back here. The one that's right here in Livingston. Livingston's getting 40, 50-mile shots sometimes. That's a layered FG9026, all from helium. Back when I was buying these from helium, and I bought 20 of these, and I was making that kind of money with helium. They were 135 bucks, 140 bucks, 150 bucks sometimes if the supplies got low and they needed to calm people down a little bit. These things now are $350. Listen, they all lasted, all 20 something of mine, all lasted 100-mile-an-hour winds during Hurricane Ida with 80 something sustained winds that we had, sustained winds. It just getting pounded. There's not too many antennas that I would say it's a commercial grade antenna and it works it. But you see this one right here that's getting some really good mileage also. This is the 10 dBi backcountry, $59. Is it as good as the layered? No, but the layer's not $300 better. Does that make sense? Um, that's some things you got to worry about. Like you look at Franklin right here. This is a layered FG9026. It's hitting in here. You see how this one doesn't have hardly any traffic? This is a Signal Plus. You know, I don't know what he has here or anything like that. This is a layered FG9026. This is a layered FG9026. All look at the mileage it's putting in. But it's not, I don't recommend this layered even with these results. I don't recommend this antenna because it's not worth 350 bucks. I'm gonna tell you what was a damn good antenna was the Comet and the Diamond. I think it was a Diamond BC 920. Was that what it was? Good luck finding one. Tell you, if I wanted to spend a little more money, I've used these for helium. They are effing outstanding. You see this approximate ship date? Last December, it said January. They still never been come back. I don't know if Diamond's even selling these anymore, but they keep just pushing this date back. These are some of the greatest 900 megahertz antennas that are out there. It's 6 foot tall. It's a damn good antenna. If you can find one from somebody that you trust that's in damn good shape, I would jump all over that. Comet, was it BC something? AP20. This is a damn good antenna also. It's in stock now. $227. And I want to say it's like 8 feet tall. These just came in the stock. Just came in 8 feet tall. Let me tell you. Now that I see these in stock, if I had to put something on the tower, I probably would still go with the backcountry booms, man. The backcountry booms. The first repeater I put up about a month ago with a backcountry on a tower is this one in St. James Parish EOC. And look at it. It's just covering everything. It's coming from here into New Orleans. It is covering here to down here in Raceland, and it's only 300 feet tall. It's getting results like some of these other ones. I have to say it. If y'all ever want to see, I showed it the other night. Y'all want to see what happens to a mesh core antenna when it gets struck by lightning? We had a bad lightning storm go through Morgan City. My tower climber went and checked it, and all it was this little hole. And at first, he took a picture of it. It looked like bird shit, but it isn't bird shit. It's actually a hole. And when you, so I had him Dremel cut the bottom of it, and the bottom doesn't look too bad. It's nice and shiny. But as you get towards the end, this is a collinear antenna. It looks like a Harry Potter wand. It is crispy. So that's what people think. Sometimes antennas have these big explosions. I will also tell you, for the people who fear the lithium batteries in this thing designed, and they're now in another repeater that is functioning today with no problem. Same thing with the solar panel. So just because it gets struck by lightning doesn't mean it blows up and all this shit happens. I can also show you pictures of the 2-foot hole that was in my backyard when I had a ham antenna get struck by lightning. And that was colon cleansing. I was standing outside when that happened. So I'm back up to 12 people. We talking about mesh core stuff now. We moved on from crypto crap to mesh stuff. And maybe I need the. How's that? Now we completely changed. Welcome to the Grumpy Dad Mesh Live channel. Anybody got anything else? See you on Saturday morning to the moving crew. Thanks for your feedback on Central Valley. I'm gonna tell you, but I don't know if Lost Sniper's still here, a Lamb Sniper, but the California guys came in and helped us when we were first starting, and they were on every Monday night. We have a meeting on Discord, on the Gulf Coast Mesh Discord. We also have a Facebook Gulf Coast Mesh Facebook if everyone wants to join that. And if you look at my Grumpy Mesh YouTube channel, I do have links for that in those videos. But those California guys, when we started this back in December, when I first got involved, I got involved in Meshtastic in October. Used that for 2 months. It worked when I was in the hunting and woods with my son with no cellular, and it worked for that. But that was about it. It was very limiting. Not hardly anybody on it. You could go a week without seeing other people's messages on it. I then joined up with this group. They had about 20 mesh core. I don't think it was 20, maybe 10 mesh core repeaters in the whole state. Last I knew, we surpassed 300 the whole state, 200 something just in our New Orleans area, 300 when you include Lafayette and some of these other ones, and we have California coming in. And but those guys from California back in November, December, January really helped us out, told us what their growing pains were, and we had to go through some growing pains. And now I'm helping some of these other groups who are now going through those growing pains. But you can see, like on some nights when we have skip, if y'all know what skip or tropospheric ducting is, you can see how we're hitting Austin sometimes, San Antonio, Dallas area. This should be Texarkana, guys. Yep, Texarkana. Tennessee, Florida down here. But weird. It's cool. It's like DX if you for me with ham stuff. Hey, not all kinds of people in there. You got some people want to limit that kind of stuff. I don't, but I see some nodes on power poles. The stupid use a tree for a node. Some nodes on power poles. First, I'm curious to hear about the nodes on power poles. Are you sure that they're nodes? That'd be my first question. But they might be. Tree nodes are very, very popular. In fact, I am kind of surprised I don't see more videos on tree nodes. If I don't think Scarlett's probably still here. Scarlett, I think, was running tree nodes at one point. I know, like I said, on my hunting lease, as we try to start getting into more in this north area. Let me see if I have any maps that show. As we try to get around my hunting lease, I'm gonna have, because I don't have any context up there with tower stuff. Um, this is a addicting map right here too. I don't know if I can hear it. I don't know if y'all hear that or not. This is live right now. These are messages around our mesh system right now. If you go to analyzer.gulfcoastmesh.org, these are messages going around our mesh. But let me see. Meshcore.io. Problem with the Meshcore direct map is not everybody uploads their stuff to that. Map, Meshcore map. There you go. So this is where that other tower is going in, which will help light up the Purvis area, Hattiesburg. This is where my hunting lease is, and I'm gonna have to put tree nodes. There's some very, very high trees. You know, they have different. That's what that Avery repeater is going to be. If you saw that on my website, it's going to be a tree portable type. Very small form factor repeater, but there are some people right now who do have these on Etsy and stuff like that for tree nodes. You know, I wish there was more videos on it. That's what I was getting at, because I'd like to see how they're putting those up there. Some people just kind of like, if you do the same thing with a ham, uh, trying to pull like a ham dipole up. They're throwing string way up into a tree or over a tree, then pulling that repeater all the way up with a hook on top. But somehow they have it weighed or balanced so that the antenna sticks all the way up. Some people hang the antenna off the bottom. It's a wild thing to me, but it works. Apparently it works. And they, with a rope, they're hanging it up. They got people who just take PVC pipe with the caps and somehow are making tree nodes. It's something that I want to play with when I have the time, but I have not had the time. But to answer your question, I know it's a long answer, but no, tree nodes are not bad at all. As long as you understand that there's going to be some limitations to what you know power and height. And again, here's somebody using the alpha antenna, but on a tree node, you're not going to be able to use a really big antenna. But you hope with a tree node that you're putting it up and can kind of get in between, some other repeaters and stuff like that. So, printables has, I'm just getting into the whole 3D, 4D, 3D printing thing craziness. And I'm still, but like this, there you go. Like this guy has the hook on top. And this is probably what I'm going to need for my hunting lease. I really just don't want people to see the string on the bottom. That's where I'm going to get, weird about it. That's the inside. Now, they have people who are just taking solar lights for the HOAs. I got a buddy who has a very strict HOA, and they're taking the solar lights and they're just gutting them out and putting repeaters in with Musi antennas and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I would have to think that most of those on power poles are IoT, because some of these, like at least where we're at, some of these 5G little um repeaters or whatever they are for AT&T and for stuff for the cellular, they do look kind of like, they have the white antenna, at least ours do, that look like 915 megahertz antennas. Um, some of them might be some IoT stuff, but I don't know. All right, before I leave, anybody got any questions about anything? They're everywhere now. They are everywhere now. Like I don't know exactly what they are. Like I see them And I see them, and a lot of them have FG9023, the layered FG9023 antenna, which I do like that because I know somebody who has one of those and it does surprisingly well, even though it's supposed to be only a 3 dB or 5 dBi antenna. It does very well. Again, it's $100 something for that one. It's half the size of the FG9026, but Laird makes some damn good antennas if you got money to blow in this shit. That's for sure. And it's just like any other hobby. You go buy a Baofeng and a cheap ass ham antenna and you don't put it at a decent height, you're going to get cheap ass results. You go buy, like I have this Icon. I was gonna grab it, but it's all wired in. IC 7300 HF with a dipole that I did trade with a guy, which is a damn good dipole. It's been in my tree so long that I can't get it out now. I'm gonna have to get a bucket truck or something to get it out. But I'm hitting all around the world and do POTA stuff all the time with it, and it's great. And the antenna height's 30, 40, 50 feet, something like that, depending on what angle you look at. It was like this, but the tree grew. It's the same thing with mesh. You go buy an alpha antenna or one of these Amazon antennas for $9.99 or $12.99. You're getting $9.99 results. If you have an HOA, I can completely understand you having to hide away that repeater. But if you don't, height is might. I understand the P1 Pro and some of these repeaters that are on Amazon, that you don't have to mess with them. You don't have to put them together. I have videos on that other YouTube channel of me putting solar repeaters together. Some people don't want to deal with that. Some people don't want to solder. Some people don't want to mess with the lithium batteries. So they go buy a P1 Pro and then they are all, on our Discord asking for help because they can't connect to nothing, even though the repeater's right down the street. Well, the P1 Pro is plug and play, but it's got half a watt. We've did some testing. It doesn't even give out the wattage, at least when we did testing on it. It doesn't even put out the wattage that it proclaims it does. And that's even with a good backcountry antenna on it. Then God forbid when it comes to upgrade firmware on it, you're fucked. So, that's why there was a demand for my stuff. That's the only reason why I did it. But all right, guys. So I'm done. We've been doing this for 2 hours. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for everybody who's been watching. See y'all